Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite. Today's date is March 28th, Monday, and the last week has been really crazy. We've seen a lot of this upward momentum in the market. Hopefully that will continue. The markets have finally reached a level where I'm comfortable to get in on a pullback if there is a pullback. So we're going to just hop in and see what the market holds. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into the charts because there's a lot to talk about here. And I'm going to go through the total 2, all this stuff, right? So let me look at the total real quickly and I will be right back. Okay, so first things first is that we have this resistance here on the monthly, which was also a resistance here on the monthly again in August of 2021, and it was also resistance here again. And then you could also say that this was somewhat of a support / resistance right here. So this level right here where we're at, pretty much if we zoom it up to 2.153, this whole area is a really big resistance area on the monthly, at least for monthly closes. However, you could see that there were wicks on the monthly, so the price did move up above it beforehand. So we had an entire week above it right here. We had an entire week above it right here. So 1 week above it, then straight back down. 1 week above it, and straight back down. Will we get another week right above it and then right back down? Well, I mean, yeah, that's totally possible. What I want to see is maybe it come up to the 61.8. So yeah, like if we take the Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, we could see the 61.8 is right here, right? And so because the 61.8 is right here, basically we hit the 38.2 once, and then we hit it again, and then sort of like stagnated, and then, or at least we closed it, and now we're moving back up. It does make me feel like we could see another week of upward momentum, because the total market cap, I want to see the total market cap come to the 61.8. The only other thing that I would look at is if this was it, but no, like this is it. Like this makes the most sense when it comes to the Fibonacci on the weekly. So if we go down to the daily, you could see we're crazy overbought on the RSI and stochastic RSI. Last time we were crazy overbought was right here, and we ended up going down from there. Let's see what happened last time. Last time we were overbought in these levels, we were right here, and we ended up going down from there. Before that, we were overbought. However, we did continue to go up, and we were actually in the overbought territory in October. So we had an entire month of being overbought for the stochastic and the RSI, and we continued to go up. So this just goes to show, like, where are we in the market cycle? So in here, in the market cycle, we were getting towards the end, but we weren't even close to the end. But here, I mean, dang, like here we just came off of this really, really big downward momentum. So this makes me actually a little bit more bullish and thinking that we'll probably head up again. But obviously this is all speculation. No one really knows what's going to happen. All that I could really do is just plot out the really big levels of supports and resistances, and then put my alerts in and try to get in, at these levels. So would I want to buy here is like the question. Like, I don't really want to say it. Like part of me does, but part of me doesn't. I mean, we have that monthly close right here, this huge monthly close. That's pretty bad. But typically we'll get, at least a wick or something up. So I could honestly, I could see it going either way. Maybe if we go into once we go into the actual charts, we could see a little bit things with a little bit more clarity. But we did finally get the break above this right here, which was the previous lowest high. So like I said last week, we got the high, right? And then we got a lower high, and then we got a lower high right here, and then we finally broke above it last week. So typically when that happens, you want to take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, and you want to try to get in 61.8 or the 38.2. So I would probably want to get in like right here. If I was going to buy cryptocurrencies, I would want to buy them once the total market cap comes down here, because this is, you know, a market structure break to the upside, and now I want it to come back down. Plus, we're in a previous monthly close area. I don't know. It's just like, I don't really want to be buying now. I would have rather have bought before this big pump up, you know, or I want to buy the dips. Like, I like buying dips. I don't like buying breakouts. I don't like buying pumps. I don't like chasing green candles. I don't like doing any of that. So that was on the total market cap. Now we have total 2. So this right here, this area was the close above it. Like, this was the previous high. We finally closed above it. So now I want to wait until it, you know, moves up and then get in on a retrace when it falls back down. So what would I do? I would take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, and I'd probably try to get in at the 38.2, which would be right here. So this is where I would want to get in if I was a buyer. Let's look at the dominance levels too. So the dominance levels, this just doesn't really make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand this, because the dominance levels have been bouncing. Like, altcoins were dominant, and then Bitcoin was becoming more and more dominant during the sell-off. And then altcoins became way more dominant. And then even in September, October, November, this was really weird. This was really weird because the market was moving up for the most part. But a lot of altcoins continued to sell off. So it makes sense, I guess. But regardless, we're in this range for the altcoin dominance charts, or the dominance charts. And like, this is literally this is like the top of the range. Like, it's a little hard to grasp as someone who really believes in Bitcoin, like, that we would just simply stay up here. Like, okay, so we're just going to stay up here now with alts. Like, is it because altcoins are just consistently getting created? Like is the altcoin dominance going to remain up here forever now? I mean, let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. Look at the Bitcoin dominance. For such a long time, it was just like Bitcoin dominance from 2000, literally from the moment Bitcoin was created all the way up until 2016, 2017, basically. It was, what was that? 8 years of Bitcoin, of nothing but Bitcoin. And then altcoins were created. And then it just like, Bitcoin dominance absolutely crashed, right? Bitcoin dominance crashed as all the new money went into these new shiny altcoins. And then it came back, everything went back into Bitcoin. And now everything is back into altcoins. So it's like, let me just get rid of all this stuff. So everything is back into altcoins now. So there's just like massive amounts of money in altcoins. And is that going to be the case? Is it just going to be the case that this is the new reality, this is the new norm, and that because now we have all of this new money coming into the system that's getting flushed into altcoins, that drives the Bitcoin percentage domination down, like dominance level down, and Bitcoin is just going to remain down here under 45% forever, under 50% forever. Honestly, it's sort of hard to tell. I don't see it, but I could see the case for it, because so much new money comes in and just buys these altcoins, and just more and more altcoins get created all the time, and then that pushes Bitcoin dominance down. So I guess all the money is moving into altcoins. Not all the money, but people they want to chase the money, and other than Ethereum, I mean, there's definitely been coins out there that have outperformed Bitcoin, but like usually over the long run, Bitcoin is the coin that everything sort of goes back into. Like let's look at like XRP against Bitcoin. Like XRP against Bitcoin, like it's down from December 2017, January 2018, like it's all the way down here, right? So you would have been better off buying Bitcoin buying Bitcoin rather than buying XRP from literally January 2018 until basically January 2021. So if you bought XRP from all of 2018, all of 2019, all of 2020, so for 3 years straight, if you bought XRP, you would have underperformed Bitcoin. Let's look at DOT against Bitcoin. DOT has outperformed Bitcoin since it began. And let's go to the weekly. And so DOT outperformed Bitcoin. And so you would have made more money if you would have invested into DOT rather than Bitcoin, unless you invested into DOT at the very top, or even like March. Yeah, May was the top. So March 2021. So for about 1 year now. But other than that, you would have outperformed Bitcoin basically. Uniswap. Yeah, Uniswap not really outperforming Bitcoin very much unless you got in, at the bottom, the short period of time at the bottom. A lot of these, what about Link? Yeah, Link, same thing since August 2020. So for nearly 2 years now. And actually, even all the way back down, basically, yeah, for two full years now, if you would have bought Chainlink and not sold it, then you would have been better off just buying Bitcoin. What about Crow? Crow's a really good one. So Crow. Yeah, okay, so Crow has outperformed Bitcoin for the most part, because if you would have bought it pretty much any time after the big pump in March 2019, pretty much any time after here, you would have done really, really well, or you would have outperformed Bitcoin if you bought Crow. So that's pretty good for Crow. EWT, would have been way better off just buying Bitcoin. VET, let's look at VET. VET has consistently outperformed Bitcoin, so that's not bad. This is pretty good. Maybe if I draw this, buy zone, still wouldn't buy too much, but that's good. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, most of these coins, ZRX, they don't outperform Bitcoin over the long run. Algo, when did I post this? 2020, November 2020. Yeah, like this is what makes the whole dominance level difficult. Yeah, that one worked out great. Banned against Bitcoin. Yeah, like they have these huge run-ups, but then like they just drop. So during alt season, they're amazing, right? But Bat's a really popular one. Bat's a good one. But once again, if you would have bought Bat literally since any time other than the very bottom, then you would have been better off buying Bitcoin. CHZ. Okay, so CHZ has outperformed Bitcoin drastically since its inception. Comp, terrible. Dash, we don't need to even go with Dash. That's terrible. Engine. Okay, so here's a good one. This is one of my favorite coins, and this has definitely outperformed Bitcoin. If you bought Engine literally anytime in 2017, anytime in 2018, anytime in 2019, except for the very, very, very first couple of weeks, almost anytime in 2020. So you would have had years to accumulate Engine and outperform Bitcoin. FET, what about Fetch AI? Fed outperformed Bitcoin as well. So, excuse me. Let's check out Quant against Bitcoin. Even Quant against Bitcoin is not. Well, oh no, yeah, okay. So Quant definitely outperformed Bitcoin as well. Ever since literally if you bought Quant in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, except for past July 2021 for a few months, and then obviously 2022, you would have outperformed Bitcoin. So there's definitely merit to the whole altcoin dominance thing. Just altcoins just consistently, getting better. And same thing with these gaming tokens. Mana. I wonder if Matic. Yeah, definitely. Here's the thing. This is going to be really good for this video. I'm going to look at the coins. I'm going to look at them against Bitcoin as well, because I think that gives a good understanding of where we are. Near's one that I really want to look at. So did I get in here at this point? I wonder what February did this work? Did I do that? Oh shit. That was nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, anyway. Awesome. So, yeah, I think going against Bitcoin, I just feel like that's the move. So I'm gonna go chart out all of these coins. So let's just go into Bitcoin and let's just look at what it's doing. Look at what I was saying beforehand. So I remember, where was it? It was this chart. So this was the chart that I did last week. It was like, these were my three scenarios. It was either go down here, break below here, and then, fall down. That's what I was really hoping would happen. Or we would come up here and then fall back down, but that did not happen. Or we would come up here and then, retest this. So now that we had this bullish market structure break on Bitcoin, I want to get in on the retest of 44,500, somewhere around here. Basically, I want to take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top. And yeah, if I could get in at 44,500, yeah, basically 44,500, that's where I would plan to buy. That's where I would want to buy Bitcoin. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to move on to Ethereum. And so we're going to start off on Ethereum on the daily. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the Fibonacci from the top to the bottom and see 61.8. Where is that? That's at $3,800. If we take it from the top to this bottom, then it's around $3,900. Okay, so it's $3,800 to $3,900. And that is the 61.8. So that's where I would definitely want to be selling everything and getting out, because that is not only right here, not only 61.8, but right here, major resistance. So, and then of course it was very close to the resistance right here as well before the big drop. So this is where I would want to leave. Shorting would be terrifying. I'm not going to lie. It would be terrifying if we get this huge run up and then shorting here. I wouldn't want, but you know what? Sometimes the best times to put on a short is when the market is when you're most scared. Okay. So I'm going to put a short position in here for Ethereum for this, something like, first off, can I put my default back on here? I guess. Oh, well, give me 1 second. Yeah, so I've just been looking at this for a little while now, and it's like the RSI and stochastic RSI are in the 90s. It's so overbought. I just don't think I could justify buying it. Damn, maybe it'll freaking fly up another 12%. Maybe I'll miss out on huge gains. I don't know, but right now, this very minute, I just don't see myself. I just don't see it. I don't see justifying buying it, you know? I would buy it if it comes back down. Like, where's the chart that I just had? Like here. This is a chart. Like, okay, I'll buy it if it comes back down to 3,200 area, like 3230, 3246, and then some more if it comes back down to 38.2, which is around 3,100. Like, I would like to buy around here. That's cool. I would get in at these levels, but like green, like buying after such a buying after 3 huge weeks. That's like 1, 2, 3. Imagine buying like, yeah, what if I bought here? It did pump. It ended up pumping up again, but it would have been better to like wait, have it pump up, and then buy it down here, rather than buy it here, have it pump up, come all the way back down, and then come back up. You know, it's like 1, 2, 3, another third week. Like there's usually, let's go to the daily, because daily is just easier to understand. It's like even in uptrends, even in like this crazy uptrend, boom, 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 right here, boom, it broke above it. It retested. This was in November of 2020. So wait a minute. Oh yeah, 2020. I was thinking 2021 for a second. So this was right when the bull market started back here. Let's take a look at this. Look in the back and take a look at this. The bull run started, you know, back in basically COVID was in March 2020, and then just started going up from there, right? So first thing we'll look at is right here. This was the major resistance at $281, and it came up and it never really got there, and then boom, it came up and it got to it, and then finally it busted above it. It did this weird thing. It did the thing that I hate when it does, which is when it does this and then goes even higher, and it never comes back down for a retest. So it did that at first, right? But then eventually it did come back down, and you were able to get in at just above the previous resistance, right? Like back at instead of 287. And since this happened, I would have been like, okay, I want to get in at 300 now, because I'm not going to wait till 287, the exact top of the previous resistance. I want to get in a little bit above. So, you know, 300, 315, 325, whatever, that's good enough for me. But then we had this was the new resistance, right? So boom, new resistance. And what happened? It busted above there, and it went up a lot, okay? It went up 25%. But what happened? It literally, RSI, stochastic RSI, overbought by in the 90s, right? In the 90s, it ended up coming back down. We got the retest. We did get a retest here. Then right here, all right, resistance, boom, resistance, boom, resistance, boom. It came back above, and then boom, shot back down, and we got a retest right here, and we got another, you know, opportunity to get in even lower right here. So there was constant retests until this move happened, until this big move happened. This is when we did not get a retest. But for this one we got a retest. Oh, excuse me. For this one we got a retest. For this one we got a retest. For this one we got a retest. So we got enough retests to make me think, right? And that was at the start. That was at the very start of the bull run. That was at the very start of the bull run, right? And even if you got in late and you got in here, this was the next one, right? So boom, boom, boom. This was the resistance, and well, first this was the resistance. Okay, so then it hit it, bounce, bounce, bounce. Where do you get in? Boom, you get in right here at the retest, the resistance, or the 61.8 of this move up. I'm guessing that's the 61.8. I could double check right now. 61.8, yes. So right there, good to go. Or you can get at the support resistance flip. That's fine too. So then this became the new resistance, and then we shot up, and you missed out on these huge gains, but then it did come back down. You got in. So it would have been better. Well, actually, no. You would have got in at the SR flip right around here. But regardless, we're in a totally different environment right now. It's so different than what, like in 2020. I knew we were going on this bull run in 2020. I was like, okay, it's November 2020. We've been in a bear market for 2.5, 3 years. And it's time to move up. All of everything that I'm looking at is like moving upwards, like upward momentum, volume, people coming in, so many things happening. And that's why I was so adamant about going so hard in 2020. And now it's like, it's just not the same. It's not the same because we had the bull run, and then we haven't had, like, this is a huge down. Like, you don't fall this far. You don't fall this far in bull runs, you know? You fall usually, like, usually is 30%, 40% was the max, like 30 to 40%. But we fell so hard. And I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. But there is some correlation, I guess, to they say 2019. So going back to, not 2019, I think it was 2015 or something like that. So if I scroll all the way back to 2015, I guess, we had something that was similar where we made a, maybe it was right here. Maybe they're talking about this area right here, or maybe we're talking about this area right here. I don't know what it was, but they're saying it was something similar, and that was like the bull case for this scenario right now. I don't know. I just don't see it because we broke through the 61.8 of the move up. Like, if I go, which one was it? This one or was it this one? It was this one. So look at this, like this right here, 61.8 from the bottom to the top. Bottom to the top. 61.8 was right there. We never fell below it. Then from the bottom to the top, 61.8. Excuse me. Bottom to top. We fell below the 61.8 right here, and we reached the 88%. I guess because the 88% is where the industry giants, the investors, the leaders, the insiders, they all get in at the 88%, which, okay, so I guess that makes sense. That does make sense why we hit the 88% from this move, from the bottom to the top of this move, for sure. Right here, 88 was 33,500. But I still I don't know. It's just different. It's just so different than 2020, 2021. We had the stimulus checks. We had the people coming in. So maybe we'll get another bounce up here. But anyway, I need to keep on going with the freaking charts. So let's go back to the charts. Literally, this is the deal. I would probably start selling it around $3,450. And then I would probably open up a short around 3,800 because that's the 61.8 of this entire move down. And like I said before, if you take it from here to here, 3,900, something like that. So just above 3,800 is where I would open the short. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up a short position here, and I'm going to aim for the 38.2, which is, right, which would be right there, 3,300, or if it's from the higher range, then it would be basically 33.62, something along those lines. So this is where I would 33.64. So I'll do it like that, And this would be my short position that I would open up for Ethereum. And I feel, I think that's good with that. The other thing I want to see though, let me just look at is there a yearly chart around here? I guess this is the yearly close right here is 34.60, but yeah, we're not really that close to the yearly close. I mean, that is important. Maybe we'll get a wick above there. The yearly, obviously the yearly is important, but maybe if we do it on this chart, it would be big resistance, weekly close, sell everything here in short. Big resistance, weekly close. yeah, that's what I would do. Let's go back to my chart, go back to the daily, and it's definitely going to be scary. I would not put on a huge size for this because I just don't see it's terrifying. When I put on big sizes, I put on big sizes for longs. I don't put on big sizes for shorts because with longs you could stick with them and be fine. With shorts, you're screwed if the price keeps on going up. Okay, yeah. So basically the game plan for ETH is not buy it right now because you could see the RSI and stochastic RSI over 90. It's way too high. But if it does come down to the 3100 level, definitely that's a buy for me. And then I would definitely want to sell it at the 61.8 of this entire move, which is the $38 to $3,900 level. And I would also actually open up a short position there as well. And now that we have Ethereum against USD, we're going to look at Ethereum against Bitcoin. And you can see that we have the Ethereum against Bitcoin pair. And we started to get, the uptick on the MACD, the uptick on the stochastic RSI, and the uptick on the regular RSI. And we actually are above the midline on the regular RSI, which is pretty good because once we get above the midline, that usually indicates that things are more bullish than bearish. You can see it bounced off the midline here, bounced off the midline here, bounced off almost off the midline here, and then once we went down below it, that was pretty bearish, but then we crossed back above it right here and we bounced off again. So this was pretty much all bearish once we crossed down below it, and we didn't even get to retest it, but now we're back above it, even though it is looking really weird, but we are technically back above it. So that's pretty good. So definitely more bullish on it, at least on the weekly time frame. However, on the daily, you could clearly see lower highs on the RSI, just continuing to get lower and lower and lower and lower. I don't like that at all because that's a very clear bearish divergence because the RSI is getting lower, aka the momentum is getting lower, and yet the price is getting higher. So I don't like that. Plus the RSI, the stochastic is way oversold, way overbought as well on the daily. And then on the MACD, it's coming down, and usually there's an M shape, or so I could see one more little move up and then come down, but this needs to come down here. The RSI needs to reset. The stochastic needs to reset. Things need to really reset before I want to look into getting changing my Bitcoin into Ethereum. This is the sell zone. This is where I would actually be selling my Ethereum 4 back into Bitcoin. We have the support, and we have the support, and we have the resistance. It's been in a range since literally January. So for 2 months now, all of January to February and February to March. So support, resistance, support, resistance. So maybe it'll hit the resistance, come back down to support. Maybe it'll bust through the resistance, and then we could turn this into support, and then we could aim for up here. But I'm not looking to really get into Ethereum in terms of my Bitcoin holdings. So I will get into it if Ethereum falls down. Let's say if Ethereum falls back down to 3,100, maybe the ETH Bitcoin chart will fall down too, and then there'll be a better buying opportunity. But you definitely, I don't know if it'll come all the way back down here, because if it comes all the way back down here, then maybe the RSI will have to go below the 50 mark, and I think by the time it gets to maybe around 0.0678, then everything will reset. Like the RSIs will reset, the MACD will reset, and be at a good place, or at least go down and then start to come back up. So there's and it'll probably be at 3,100 by then, USD value. So this is where I would probably want to get in against the Bitcoin chart for Ethereum. But yeah, I'm just like looking at this, and this is very similar to the altcoin dominance chart, and it's like, man, how long can this? Is this the new standard? That's actually a really deep question. Is it the new standard that Ethereum is going to be overpowering Bitcoin, and that altcoins will be totally dominating the market like how they have been? Okay, so I figured this out of what I want to do with this. Basically, we have the monthly close coming up right here. So I don't want to buy or convert my Bitcoin into Ethereum right now because we're so close to the monthly close, which is a big resistance. And yeah, it may come all the way up to the weekly close. And this would obviously be where it would get rejected, have the greatest chance of getting rejected, unless we take the Fibonacci from say the top to the bottom, and then it gets rejected right there. But regardless, up here is the best chance of getting it rejected. And then if it does come all the way up here, then I'll try to buy back in right here at this like SR flip area of where the monthly close was. But like, it's too close to here for me to really do anything. And the RSI, like with the RSI going down, giving bearish divergences and everything like that, it's just not what I want to see. I would love for it to come back down here, and I would definitely get in right here if it does, because even though this is obviously the local support, I would want to front run it at 0.68, and I think that would be a good move. But that's it for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Okay, so I think the next thing that we should go over is Quant. Obviously, I love Quant. It's one of my favorite coins ever, and I bought it literally at $85, and I sold it up here, bought some back down here, sold it up here, and now I'm waiting to buy it back. I was going to wait literally until it comes all the way back down to around $85 again, $90, but at this point, I would much rather get in at $128. So 128 is really my buy zone, and that's where I'm going to buy half of what I sold between 139 and 149 back down here, and then hopefully I get a wick or I get something that comes down to 105. Wait a minute. Oh, no, 112. Sorry, I need to change this up. I put 105 in the VIP, but it's actually 112. And if we take this and actually bring it up, I'd probably want to get in more around 115, if I'm being honest, around here. So 115, and then let's say 120, 129. I'll bring it up to 130, just over 130, and here we go, 131. Boom. 131 and 115. Those will be my numbers for sure. Okay, actually, let me reiterate that one more time. Not 115. It is literally 135 and 123, because that's on the weekly it was one thing, but on the daily you could see that this is obviously the higher low right here. Like, I was taking it from down here, but I would much rather take it from here and be safe, just because I want to have my Quant. You know, I love Quant, I want to have it, so I want to make sure I get at least half of it back in at 135, which I know isn't really that much lower than where I sold it from, but I want to get at least half of it back from there, and then I want to get the rest of it back at 123, which is the 61.8 of this move up. And fingers crossed we could get it. The RSI and stochastic RSI, just like everything else, is way overbought right now, so who knows what's going to happen. But there's usually always a fall. There's usually red after green, so I'm just waiting for the red to come in, and I'm very confident that 135 will be hit. 124 is another story. 123, that's another story. I don't know if this is actually going to get hit, but I do think maybe we'll get a wick down there or something. That would be great. But I'm comfortable holding from these levels. So that's what I'm going to do. Next thing I want to look at is the DeFi perpetual futures contract, which has all of these different coins in it. And it gives a good general indication of the market. Obviously, we know the market's going up, but like, yeah, there's this one as well. And so we finally did get the break right here. That was nice. Okay, sorry, I was distracted a little bit, but pretty much we got the break from this downtrend, right? And if we take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the very top, first, you could see that it came to just above the 78.6, and that was basically the bottom of this move. I wonder if we take it from here instead. I guess this was a more accurate move because the 78.6 was like right here, and it did tap it, and then it moved up. So we'll just say that that's the move, right? And pretty much it came up from that one move, tapped it, came all the way back up again, but did not get to the actual daily close. Did it get to the weekly close? Did not get to the weekly close. Did it get to the monthly close? It was in a weird, it got to a weird position actually. But let's see here. Boom. Was this the weekly? If I click here, this was 15,351, 15,001, 15,400. Okay, so it did basically. It got to the weekly close and then it slammed down, right? And now it's like possibly on its way back up. So we'll have to see what happens. I do think that because it hit the 23.6, we could see a little bit of a retrace right here, but probably not a very big one. And then the 38.2, this is definitely the biggest resistance area, the next big resistance area. So looking at this, and yeah, I would plot this out 100% because this is clearly gigantic resistance all the way going back from now to February 2021. And then, of course, we have a 61.8, which is like right up here. And that's if this was the bottom. And like right now, I'm just assuming that this was the bottom. And we could take it from here. We could take it from here. It doesn't really matter. But if it comes back down, obviously, this is the ideal buy zone. So this is where I would want to buy. And I would even front run it a little bit. So I'd probably front run it maybe like here, I'd say, right there. Is where I would front run it. So let me write that down. However, I don't know if it's gonna come back down here or not, but like if it does, obviously this is where I would want to get in. Also, though, I mean, normally I'd take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, and then I just get in at 38.2 or the 61.8, but I don't think that this is actually the top for this. I think that this is going to move up a little bit more. But once again, this is like everything else. It's just above the resistance, and it's closing right above the resistance. So, and usually a lot of times there's like a close up here, and then like it falls back down, does something like that. And also look at how far away it is from the moving averages. I hate that, so I don't want to get in there. Look at how overbought everything is. I don't like any of it. The only thing that I would have wanted to do, would have want to have done, is like get in like down here, but I wouldn't even have got my orders filled because I would get in when it taps the exponential moving average, but like it didn't even tap it. So that's on the daily. And on the 4 hour, like maybe on the 4 hour, I would have wanted to get in on a retap of the 200, or on maybe right here would have been a good one. But yeah, it's like, you can't say that things are too green to get in, but you can say that it's too close to a big support, or too close to a big resistance to get in. Like that makes more sense. And if you have a actual like trading routine or like rules to follow, then it makes it much easier. And like one of my rules, like don't trade near resistance, and like this right here is the resistance. It's literally at there. So like I'm not going to be buying, and I'm also not going to be buying when this is so overbought as well. But I will try to come buy if it comes back down. So if it comes back down, like where would I want to buy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'll buy somewhere around here, 6,700. There's sort of a lot of different ways that you could do this. I would just have to look at it. I would have to look at it and see what's happening. Because right now I wouldn't want to buy like right now. The next coin that I want to go over is Cardano. And I'm just going to be straight up. I see Cardano now. I see it above the support level. This was the support level. And this is one of those areas where it's like, look, this is where you short it if it falls below. And if it comes above, then you wait and you want to long it here. Like There's nothing. It's this right here. This right here. Right when it closed below here, this was the easiest short in the world, from like $1 down to 75 cents or something like that, right? That was the easiest short in the world. Then when it came back up here, this was also another incredibly easy short. This was 26% down. So now that it's above here, it's pretty much like this is going to be a long. Like you have to long it here. You don't have to do anything, but I'm just saying, like, if you're going to play the most obvious support and resistance levels, that's Cardano. This is Cardano. I would just long here. I would just buy it for the long term, and yeah, I wouldn't even freaking sell it. I would just buy it here. Like, that's it. Like, this is buy here. There's nothing else you could say. Taking a look at Cardano 80. Whoops, sorry. Let me erase this real quickly. Go into my alerts. Delete message. Did not mean for that to come out right there. But yeah, so looking at Cardano against Bitcoin, you could see that it actually is at a pretty big resistance right now. So this was a good shorting opportunity. This is what I had my alert in here for, but it's not really a good shorting opportunity anymore based off of the price action. So I wouldn't really short it, especially because this is not oversold. This is not overbought like it was back here, and it's not like it was, or it's not like it is on the USD chart. And although on the hold on a second, on the daily it actually is, but I don't like this whole thing where this is a bullish engulfing candle right after a very obvious like downward movement. It seems more bullish than bearish. So I would wait on this one to short it. But this is the Bitcoin chart. So this level right here, this is basically like the $1 mark on the Cardano chart. And it's actually a little bit below here, so it's more like down here. So this is actually no longer a good selling opportunity or shorting opportunity. It's more like a good longing opportunity, not necessarily from right here, but probably from like right down there would be a solid long opportunity. And then I would, yeah, this is a pretty good resistance. You can see resistance right here, support right here, resistance right here. This is a very good support resistance zone. So I would definitely sell right here if I bought it right here. I was really, really wanting this moon bag so bad, man. 8% away from my moon bag before it jumped up 30%. So annoying. It's so annoying when that happens, even when I try to front run it. But I guess the 200 weekly exponential moving average was just too good of a buy for people. This was really weird though. This price action for Cardano, I would really, I don't know. Looking at it, the fact that it dropped below the 61.8 and it didn't hit the 78.6 just does not make me super bullish. I like everything that I'm seeing here for the MACD and for the RSI on the weekly. The weekly looks really good actually for these indicators, but when it comes to the daily, everything's obviously overbought, so I wouldn't be buying it, and the MACD is turning down and all this other stuff. But I will definitely buy it if it comes back down to $1.03. Okay, so the next one that I want to go over is Solana. So if you look at Solana, this is what I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 waves up, and then you take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top. You could see that it hit the 23.6, went up, hit the 38.2, went up, hit the 50, went up, hit the 61.8, and then had a little bit of trouble, but eventually, did go up, staying within that golden pocket, and then it fell below it. So once again, this move up seems like it's under false pretenses or false bases. Like, it just doesn't make that much sense to me why this would go up, especially on Solana. You could even take the Fibonacci from this bottom to the top And this makes absolutely no sense because there's no, move this out of the way, the 23.6, I guess you could say that worked out, but the 38.2, no, the 38.2 is not anywhere close to it. 61.8, it just sliced right through it. That doesn't happen. So maybe if we bring it down here, same deal. Nothing. You can't really use that, and you can't really use that. So maybe on the daily, if we go to the daily chart, you could make sense of it if you move it around. I'll try. Let me see if I can move this around and figure something out really quickly. Yeah. I just tried moving this Fibonacci around a little bit from the top, from this bottom, and like nothing really makes sense when it comes to 61.8. And this is this is the indicator that I use the most. This is what I love the most. So like if this doesn't make sense, I don't like trading it because I have made a lot of money and have done very, very, very well trading the 61.8. So when I do a Fibonacci thing and it doesn't make sense, then I don't get it and I don't want to trade it. This one makes sense to me, going from, you know, the lows to the highs. 61.8 golden ratio zone is right there. That's fine. But like the fact that it fell below it right here and it's coming up, this is like a range. So now we are in this range from here to here. Like this is it. This is the range that we are in, and we could literally bounce around in that range for a while. Yeah, we are finally getting turning up on the moving averages, which is awesome. So maybe we'll pump up higher, but I don't really like it. I don't really know what's going on. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm just going to say, oh, look, this is a clear resistance right here. And it even got the resistance back here as well. So I'm going to just like try to do a short right here, because maybe once the price pumps up, it'll get rejected off the 200-day exponential moving average. And that'll be good enough for me to lock in a solid 9% gain. I'm not risking very much. In all of my trades so far, like over the past couple of weeks, the past 2-3 weeks, the past couple of weeks, I've been risking literally like 0.5 to 1, maybe 1.5% on my trades. And until like things are super clear for me, I'm not going to be risking that much. Like if we start moving up, right? And then we get like a very clear level of where like, okay, I could see the 61.8, I could see the price coming down there, then I'll risk 3% on that trade, right? Or if we come down here, I'm going to be risking 5%, 10%. I'm not even going to be necessarily risking because I'm not going to have stop losses. But if we come down here, I'll be going in very, very heavy, and I'll be totally fine with that. I'll want to do it and just hold, because this is a good value. This is the value that I see the market going towards. But right now, I just don't have any idea what's happening with the market. It's still in this weird range. Especially look at Solana. High, lower 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 high, and now equal high, just above. Okay, so we got a higher high right here, and now it's like, okay, so cool. We got the higher high. We broke the market structure. Now, and then we had a retrace, and we're moving up. Cool. But like, where did that happen? That happened below the 61 point. The Fibonacci weighs more on me than market structure does. Some people, market structure weighs more on them than Fibonacci or indicators or stuff like that. Yeah. So I could see this maybe doing like one more pump up, getting these to be going into like the high 90s or something for the RSIs before turning it back down and getting rejected off the 200 EMA. So that's what I'm going to do for my trade. And you know what? If this thing just pumps to high heavens from here, so be it. I will get in on a dip. You know, it's like let's say you miss this from here all the way up to here, right? And like when it's here, you want to get in down here, but you miss it because it never retraces. So then it pumps up here and you want to get in down here. Well, you miss it because it never retraces. And then it continues to pump and it pumps up here. So then what do? You want to get in right here. Okay, boom, you get in here. And then you could make, you know, the move up. That's fine. Same thing, like even if you miss this entire move, you could get in right here and then get out up here in your trading account at least. And so I'm cool just waiting. If this was back here, I would love to just jump in right now. I would love to jump in on the EMA cross. It would be splendid. But look at this. The 200 exponential moving average and the 200 simple moving average. Back here, they were below the price. Right here, they're above the price. This is bullish. This is massively, massively bullish. Look at this. EMA is below the price. RSI, stochastic RSI, in the oversold territory. The MACD in the oversold territory, moving up. This is where you buy. Contrast that to right here. Moving averages above the price. RSI and stochastic RSI overbought territories. MACD overbought moving down. See the difference? It's just very different. That's why I can't be a moon boy right now. While I could have been a moon boy back here, and I was. So just a big difference. And I made enough money during the bull market to not lose any more money. I already lost some money taking on a few shorts. That didn't work out, but but I also made money doing the first couple shorts, the Link and the Rose short and stuff like that. So once I get clarity, then I'm gonna go hard. But I really want to conserve my capital until I get that clarity. You know, it's not for everyone. I'm not a degen. I will have a degen account, and I'll share that with everyone. But for my trading account and from these videos, I want to give you my honest thoughts on the market. Now that I have Solana USD chart plotted out, and by the way, like just summarizing this, it's pretty much the PA is way too weird for me. I don't understand it. I don't like how it went below the 61.8 and it's still underneath here, underneath the EMAs. I will short it like what I showed you. Also, these are way too overbought for me to buy it right now. Then I'm also looking at Solana against Bitcoin, and you could see this is a major resistance now, and we're still underneath of it. So I'm not comfortable buying it right here, buying it at 109, because look at the Bitcoin chart. I'd rather, like, if I'm going to buy anything, I'd rather just buy Bitcoin because it looks like this will drop down. Like, I don't understand this. It seems like it would come down to at least here if on the Bitcoin chart, and if not here, like literally the minimum would be here because we have all of this, and maybe this will be front ran, right? But if we look at this and we take this, we take the Fibonacci, bottom to top, 38.2 right here, bounce back up, 38.2 right here, bounce back up, drop below it, resistance. Maybe you could call this the 50, and then we bounce back up to 38.2. Maybe we get to the 23.6. I'm not sure, but like I would feel so much better longing it from here, buying it when it reaches here. This is where I want to buy it. So this is where I'm gonna be buying Solana. At least against Bitcoin. Okay, so now that I got Solana out of the way, let's go to BNB. BNB, the only coin that I actually did long last week, or a couple weeks ago, I guess. And it's coming into resistance. So I think I sold half of it so far. Or no, I sold 60% of it right here. And I think the next one is up here. But regardless, this is BNB. And, just similar to everything else, what it's looking like. We got the monthly close up here. So I would definitely want to get out up here. 61.8 resistance right here as well. So this is where I would leave. BNB also, I'm taking some of my profits, or I took some of my profits at 434 too. Pretty much this is the support, major support right here. What is this? Why do I have this here? I don't know. But yeah, this is the major support. And ideal buy zone down here. Yes. Perfect at the 61.8. That's what I want. I will say that on the daily, Did I get in here? March 14th. Yeah, I will say on the daily, yeah, oversold, overbought, just like everything else, overbought at major resistance. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sell. It here. This looks like Ethereum, doesn't it? Hold on a second. Let's go back to Ethereum. Boom, boom, boom. Resistance and then break above. Let me check this. Boom, a little bit lower and then a little bit lower. Boom, break above. Yeah, actually it sort of does. Maybe it's lagging Ethereum. Maybe it will go higher. I don't know, but I'm definitely raising my stop. That's for sure. So I think I'll just raise my stop to like here, just in case it pumps up a little bit more. Has one more scam pump from 128. Okay, so I actually found the chart that I posted last week, which was this one, and this is how I was able to, I guess I got in right here. And yeah, so the third, I guess I got out right here with take profit 1, and my take profit 2 is up here near the 38.2. So that's BNB. I want to see what BNB against Bitcoin looks like though. Against Bitcoin, of course, it's down. It's down against Bitcoin. Let me look at this. Let me look at the weekly chart. Yeah, so this is obviously the buy zone for BNB on the weekly chart. High, lower high. Excuse me, on the Bitcoin chart. I would definitely want to buy here. It really hasn't outperformed Bitcoin since May. Of course, if you got in during the October run up, just like all alts, if you get into them at the right time, you have to get in and get out. Like get in and then sell them back into Bitcoin, or get in, sell them back into USD. But this does not look very good. I don't like the way that this looks. This looks good right here. This looks right there. That looks really good. This boom, this shooting up, right? This not so much. Maybe on the daily it looks different. Sort of. Yeah, a little bit. There's no divergences. There's no bullish divergence though. Yeah, so for BNB, I am like basically whatever on it, because BNB USDT might look good, but BNB BTC doesn't really look that good. So I'm just going to keep my position open until the 38.2 resistance at $451 to $459. I mean, and yeah, I'm just gonna try to close the rest out there, because I did have my trade open from wherever I opened it from, and yeah, I'm gonna close out the rest right there because I already took some profits. And BNB just doesn't look really that appetizing to me anymore. If it comes down here, then I'll grab some. If it comes down here, I'll grab more. And then when it comes to the BNB chart, like I just mentioned, not that appetizing as well. Pretty decent buy zone. So if it comes down here, I'll long it, and same thing for down there. And then the next thing that we could do is Dogecoin. So I'm looking at Dogecoin, and of course it decides to, you know, pump up from basically a few cents above where I wanted to buy it. So my buy zone was 0.09, basically 9 cents, or 0.0949. In fact, I want to raise this just a little bit. There you go. Just so I have it above 0.095. But yeah, this is my buy zone for Dogecoin. I just want to buy it here for the memes and hold it, because it tends to always pump. And this is pretty close to the 88%. You could see that it hit the 61.8 right here, then jumped up, which was great. And then it pretty much came down to the 78.6, which is great. Had a, yeah, right here, and then pumped up, down, pumped again, and then fell below it. And so it was below the 78.6, but it wasn't at the 88 percentile, which was sort of weird. I wanted to front run the 88% at 7 cents or 0.0722. And apparently people wanted to front run me. So this is the other thing is that if you take it from the bottom to this top, the 88 is down here. So it hits the 61.8, boom, hit the 78.6, boom, hit it again, boom, came down, hit again, and then obviously fell down. So I was just waiting for the next logical, what do you call it, Fibonacci, and it did not hit it. So now I'm just waiting some more. Hopefully it comes back down, gives another great entry to get in. Otherwise, I'm not really interested in it until we get some sort of bull, like, I don't know, just something that makes me think that we're in a bull market, and then we have Doge against Bitcoin, and this is where I plan on buying a really big moon bag here for Dogecoin if it comes and hits this area for BTC. I wonder if this, if it hit the top right here. Nope, didn't even hit the top for that. So yeah, this is a really good buy area for Doge against Bitcoin because they have the 200-day moving averages. You have the fact that it is, let's see, this is the 78.6. It's actually just under the 78.6 if you count that. What would be the most obvious play? I think this. Okay, so this is it. So yeah, this is actually underneath the 78.6. So maybe I could see why it bounced from here is because of this right here. But I would get in here because this is where the moving averages are. So that's just like what I would want to do. And I think that would be a really good play for Doge against Bitcoin, even though I could totally see it coming all the way down here as well and falling. What is that? That's another 33% to 35% from where I would get in. But I would be happy getting in here at the 200-day moving average or exponential moving average, and then just just waiting because there's most likely going to be another really big pump for Dogecoin eventually in the future. So there's that. And if we just end up pumping from here, that'd be really weird. Don't really expect that to happen. And I would just have to get in above this line. If it pumps up above this line right here, then I would try to get in on a retest of there. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so now we can, excuse me, 1 second here. Now we can look at DOT. So Polkadot. Yeah, Polkadot, I really want to grab it at $11.66 because that's the most likely, most likely it's the floor, considering that it was the floor back here in July. And right after this was like, okay, all the seed investors got in here and here. And then we had this nice area, and then finally we started seeing some action. And then this is basically I just don't see it coming back below here. So I'd want to get in somewhere around here. Obviously it did not, it went up before then, but we are at this major support resistance flip area. So definitely not going to buy now. I mean, that'd be stupid. Hopefully it'll come back down here. If not, it'll jump up, and then I'll, try to get in on a retest at this level. And that's simple. That's super simple. So that's DOT against USDT. Let's look at DOT against Bitcoin. I wonder what happened here. Wow. In May, that was a crazy week for DOT in May, that's for sure. But against Bitcoin, we have, I would say this would be where I would want to get in somewhere around here, because obviously this is near the floor. So this makes sense for DOT against Bitcoin. Clear floor right here, not clear, but basically right here. And then this is a big resistance right here. So I gotta make this, gotta make this red. This is like this. There you go. And it's right in the middle between support and resistance. So I'm not going to buy it right now. That's for sure. What about USD, Polkadot. Yeah, that's cool. August, June, July, August. Wow, look at that. Holding until 49, August 14th, 2021. So right around there. Boom, 49 came. Nice. Anyway, same thing. Yeah, this is cool, but I'd rather use this chart. It's much cleaner. And yeah, I would rather wait. I would rather just wait on this one. So not really going to touch Polkadot right now because of what I just talked about. Okay, so the next one that I want to go over is Link, and I actually like this one. I like this trade setup that I'm about to do, because not about to do, but that I will do. So we had this huge diagonal support, right? And when we crashed underneath of it, I shorted it right here, and that trade did really well. And so we have this horizontal resistance right here, from the previous resistance, support, resistance, support, and then all the way back there, from 2020 resistance, right? And so this is a really big horizontal area. And then we have the diagonal support, now resistance, right? So if this comes all the way back up here within this zone, this would be a great shorting opportunity. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on, I'm going to put a short in for here. I will long it if it comes down here, and I'll long it if it, obviously, if it comes down to, $8, I'll definitely long it more, but I want to put this short position on. I don't really feel like longing it. I don't really want to long it right now, even though the whole market might go up. I'd rather, because right now, look, here's the support. Basically, like, this entire green box is support. This entire red zone is the resistance. So we're in the middle, no man's land. So I'll long it if it comes to the support. I'll short it if it comes to the resistance. That's pretty much the gist of it, right? So that's Link against USD, and Link against Bitcoin. If we go to the weekly, you could see this was a very big area. This actually should be red at this point because it's now the resistance. Ooh, so hopefully it'll pop back up maybe 10% there, and then maybe another. Okay, that could work. Yeah, this makes somewhat sense. So this is really big support / resistance. So now it's resistance right here against Bitcoin. I'm sure it'll pop back up, but until it does, this is where I would want to long it against Bitcoins, where I would want to buy it against Bitcoin. And obviously I have my buy right here and right here for USD. So yeah, that's Link. Pretty straightforward. And then for Bitcoin, again, Link against Bitcoin, if it pops up here, then I'll probably want to buy it, at the support, because this was really good support. So that's what I would want to do. I don't know if I would get the chance if it goes all the way up here, but maybe if it pops up here, I could go down to the 4 hour and then the daily of the 4 hour and then grab it. But as of right now, it's underneath of it. So obviously I don't want to get it right now. And this looks to be, yeah, pretty solid. So that's Link. Okay, cool. So next thing that I want to go over is crypto.com. It's obviously a huge company. By this point, you've heard of it. If the Crow token comes down to 27 cents, that's where I would want to buy. It's just above the 78.6, and it is above this SR flip, this basically previous resistance. So this is where I would just simply buy and hold it. I like how it did come down from basically the top down to the 61.8 and then shot back up. This would have been a really good area. This would have been a great trade right there. And so I like how it came up and then it came back down, right? And then it came back up and now it's struggling again. So I've seen this before. Honestly, it could go either way, and I don't know which way it will go. It's looking, I mean, obviously this is very good, 5-6 days in a row, but 1 2 3 4 5 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this has 6 days in a row. This has 5 days in a row of green, and we're at a resistance. So fingers crossed it comes back down and we could get some fills in down here. Otherwise, I will simply wait. Let me check it out. Do this. Yeah, we got the crossover. I mean, this does look really good. Not gonna lie. Maybe if I go into the 4 hour, we could, like, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll go long on the 4 hour chart and on the smaller time frame charts, but I will not do that on the higher time frame charts. So basically I'll take trade setups that come to me if they're if they're quick, but I don't want to take huge trades on the daily, So I will wait. I'll come down and wait until it comes back down to at least the moving averages on the daily. That's for sure. But ideally, this is what I want. Okay, so I was actually going to just end this here, but I am deciding to continue on because why not? So what I want to do now is actually go through coins that are metaverse and gaming coins, because I think that they will be the best coins to be in over the next couple of years. When one game hits, then so many are going to hit. And then when Illuvium comes out, so many games are going to just blow up. When Star Atlas comes out, so many games are going to blow up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to CoinGecko. I'm going to go to categories. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to find the gaming platform. I also think that the Taro ecosystem is probably going to do really well. For some reason, Cardano ecosystem is better than Taro right now for over the 7 days. I don't understand that. But let's look at play to earn. Okay. GameFi. Okay. And Metaverse. Okay. So we have 3 really big things, categories in crypto. And I'm going to, hold on a second. Take profit finished. Oh, nice. I just got my take profit. Anyway, I'm going to look at these and see what they are. The other thing that I'm looking at now that I see meme coins, very interesting perspective here that I learned. I just learned this from Mac and Cheesy. So look at Dogecoin, right? Market cap $20 billion, right? Crazy. Well, oh, hold on a second. Dogecoin. So there's this coin that just came out, ApeCoin, right? And ApeCoin has about $2 billion. And ApeCoin, okay, has NFTs behind it. ApeCoin has the community behind it. ApeCoin has so much more. So I don't know about so much more than Dogecoin, but that's so much more potential. So I'm going to be getting Dogecoin and I'm going to be getting ApeCoin. I'm going to be going into ApeCoin because ApeCoin has the utility of the NFT. Call it a utility, call it whatever you want. I don't care. It has the NFT and it's going to absolutely crush it. So definitely will be getting a lot of ApeCoin. Okay? That's what I need. I just need to say that right now. I already have some. Bought it at $10, but I did not buy a lot. So I will be buying a lot more. Also, I have Doge Elon and I see that it's up. Very cool. Doge Elon might actually be a solid play. I have a bunch of it and I'm just like, I don't know. I think I'm selling it. I wonder if I sold it. Regardless, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in these meme coin. No, I'm going to go into the play to earn and the GameFi and the Metaverse. And I'm going to put all these coins into TradingView. Okay, so here's TradingView. I'm going to go and I'm going to put them into Metaverse coins right here. All right. And I will be right back once I fill the this list up with all of the GameFi coins. Okay, cool. So I don't know what's going on with my hair, but I just added a lot of these coins to the playlist, and I'm gonna have to continue adding them because I got to Ghost, and you know, there's a lot more that I want to add. But I did see Soul, and I do like what I'm seeing for Soul. Look, you can see it's above all of these moving averages. It just broke above all these moving averages, which is great. So I'm putting on a long position for Soul right now. I'm going to add more if it falls down to 1.25 and or 1.245. But yeah, I'm gonna do this, and actually I need to end this video right now so that I could save it, so that I could upload it, so that I could get it to you guys in a timely manner. Otherwise, I won't get it to you until tomorrow. So I'm going to upload it right now. So I'm going to end this right here. I'm going to end this right now. Hopefully it's been helpful, and I will talk to you tomorrow. I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing right now and just keep on adding all this stuff in. So I'll make another video like real soon. I'll upload another video tomorrow. So keep on stacking those sats, keep on making those gains, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.